Berwyn Lloyd, Pen Cwm, Moelgrove, Cardigan. We farm about 250 acres here then, about 80 acres of cereals and the rest is grassland. There's about 80 suckler cows here. Most of the calves are sold as sort of 15, 18 month store cattle. The basis of the cows are that they're out for as many months of the year as possible. The winter that's just passed now, they came in about 15th of January and they were out again before the end of February. And the reason I can keep them out for so long is that they graze forage kale for about 10 weeks usually then.
Now, you had an issue with grazing your Limousin herd on that crop because they had an iodine deficiency.
Well, it was never proven, but, the calving seemed to have been getting more difficult over the past few years, which coincided with grazing kale for longer. And during the past 3 years then, I've been grazing them on kale entirely. No other roughage at all, no silage, no straw, no nothing. Cows themselves were doing fine, they seemed to be thriving on it, there was never any issue with the health of the cow. But the calving, like I say, there was calves, well, last year for some reason quite a few calves were born backwards, some big calves, cows not really trying to calve, just couldn't be bothered to get on with it. I spoke to Ali Davis and Avani Max and it seems, although I had been giving boluses for about 3 years, I hadn't been reading the instructions properly and I'd only been giving them half the dose rate. So this winter then, I know I was a bit late doing it. They'd been in the kale for about a month before I gave them the twin pack of boluses. They had them just before Christmas. So they came in the middle of January and started calving early February. And, well, the transformation in this year's calving to last year was, well, I think I only pulled one calf and that one was coming backwards. All the other calves were presented normally. I had vet to pull one set of twins that were already dead. That was by the by. And also the calves were very thrifty, They were up on their feet. 90% of them were up on their feet immediately, and sucking colostrum. And there's no doubt in my mind that it was very good quality colostrum because out of all the cows that I've calved this year then, I haven't used any scour formulas or nothing at all, And the calves have been very healthy.
What has it meant to your system to have those healthy calves?
The calves are mostly born in March then, I can say from them already, that there's a lot of vigour in them and they have grown exceptionally well,
And had you changed anything else in your system apart from giving them that extra bolus?
No, nothing. I believe then that the bulls that I'd used for this year's calving were exactly the same as the bulls that I'd used for the previous 2-3 years. The genes and everything were exactly the same.
Limousins are quite a lively breed. You've invested in a very good crush so that it's easier for you to administer the bolus.
Yes, I have. Yes. Some people think it was dearer than a decent car. Well, I'll admit that it was, but it's worth every penny of it with bolusing, and TB testing and fluking. The cows are handled, possibly up to about 8 times a year, and well, with the hydraulic scoop and the hydraulic squeeze and everything, it makes the job of bolusing very, very easy. Yeah, I think we managed to bolus all the cows, in about 2-3 hours or less. Whereas before, it was a full day job at least, There's absolutely no chance of getting injured by a swaying head or anything.
Sum up what Trayshaw CUI has brought to your herd.
There's no doubt, that the ease of calving and the sort of ease of management of the young calves saved us a great lot of labour. When other jobs needed to be got on with the farm, you'd lose hours like calving cows and watching cows calving and this and that. And drenching calves that have scours, drenching suckle calves for scour isn't an easy job, because they will not take anything apart from sucking their cow's milk. So it is a huge labour benefit then. I'm sure if the calves keep on growing at the rate they are at the moment, I'm sure calves will be quite a few kilos heavier come weaning time, This autumn, I'll definitely be giving the boluses in October when I wean the calves prior to going to the kale. Possibly next year I would consider giving them another set, in March time just before bulling, because I feel even if I will have spent over £16 on boluses, if it will do the job that I'm thinking it will and I'm hoping it will, £16 is a small price to pay for a thriftier calf and a cow that calves in time with the rest of the herd. I'd like to have a tighter calving pattern. It isn't a very long calving pattern now, but I'd like to make sure that it stays at that.